welcome back to my channel. It's Breanna Nicole, and today I have an exciting video for you guys. Well, to me it's exciting. I hope it's exciting for you guys. It's not anything of hair or makeup. It's actually about how I learned Spanish. I get this question a lot on Instagram, on Snapchat, even Twitter. So I just wanted to make a video of it and completely in English as well, so you guys could understand how I learned and what I did to learn and all of that. I do realize that I made a video maybe like 2 or maybe even more than 2 years ago of how I learned Spanish, and I actually think that I did it in Spanish. Even though that video was more so in Spanglish, but whatever. The effort was there, so I do realize that, but I decided to make another one, and this time it'll be completely in English. I'll probably do one completely in Spanish as well. But yeah, I just wanted to share it with you guys. Also, this video will be in various parts because this question that I get is incredibly detailed. It has a very long answer that I can't just answer with one video. I could, but it would be very long. So I'm just going to go over the general stuff, and the other parts will be in more detailed about the general stuff. So let's just get started. So I started learning Spanish while I was in high school. The high school that I went to required everyone to take a foreign language of at least 2 years. You could choose between Mandarin, French, German, and Spanish. I believe those are all of the options. I chose Spanish simply because I wasn't really into French nor German, and I didn't want to take Mandarin. So I chose Spanish. I took all 5 years, or 5 levels of the class, I should say. So I took Spanish for my entire high school career, and when I graduated, I couldn't really have a conversation that easily with people. I was still very limited in what I could say even when I graduated high school. It was definitely a struggle, but I will say that taking Spanish classes in high school or any type of grammar class for a language really helped me. A lot of people say that it's like a waste of time because you don't learn how to speak. Yes, that's true, but grammar or language classes that are focusing on grammar aren't meant to teach you how to speak. They're meant to teach you the grammar until you can understand how to use the grammar and how to apply it. That's what they're there for. So when you leave a Spanish class or any type of foreign language class, you're more than likely able to write really well and read really well as well, and possibly understand a little bit as well too, because a lot of high school and college level courses focus and emphasize on listening as well by doing listening exercises and activities. So by that saying, I should say, you probably are really good in those areas, but specifically really good at reading and writing, which those 2 aspects of learning language are also equally as important as speaking and understanding a language. So don't take your language classes that you may be taking in high school now or college for granted. So further apart from that, obviously to be able to reach some type of fluency and being able to speak and just kind of flow in a conversation, I had to practice outside of the classroom to some extent, because my love for Spanish, my passion for it, and my goal for learning the actual Spanish language lied outside of the classroom. It lied outside of what was only going to be taught inside the classroom. So I had to do other things outside of the classroom to be able to achieve some type of fluency other than reading and writing. So outside of the classroom, especially in high school, I did try to watch like movies a little bit, but they were very hard for me to understand during this point in time when I was learning Spanish, so I kind of just gave that up. I did listen to some songs in Spanish, and that tended to really help me, but I listened to like the same 4 songs over and over until like I knew all of the words. And then I tried to speak with native speakers. We are so blessed in today's world that we have access to like just millions of things and just millions of people just by the palm of our hand. Like you can get your phone up and download an app, and you can just instantly connect with someone all the way like in China or like Belize or Bolivia or Colombia or something like that, and just talk to them. So I downloaded a language exchange app, and I had it in high school all the way up until now. I still have it. It's called Hello Talk, and I'll do a separate video about Hello Talk and how to use it and get the best out of speaking with native speakers in a later video. But it's a pretty cool app. You can speak with native speakers for pretty much any language that you're learning. Obviously, I used it for Spanish, so I was able to talk with people from Colombia, from Spain, from Mexico, from Dominican Republic, Cuba, Puerto Rico, you know, all of the countries that I wanted right then and there. So those people were also learning English, so I helped them with English in exchange that they taught me Spanish. That's how language exchange works. So I learned how to actually sometimes speak. I say sometimes because I didn't really verbally speak that much at the time when I had the app, because I was so nervous. I was like, I don't want to sound stupid. I don't want to sound stupid. So I didn't really talk that much, but I tried. I obviously wrote a lot, so my writing was really, really good at that point. I didn't really need that much help with my writing, but I tried to speak as much as I could. And then once I got to college, I decided to minor in Spanish. I didn't actually take any Spanish course my freshman year, but I still continued to use that app, and I still continued to do more things that involved Spanish. So I tried to watch movies in Spanish. Still didn't work because I just couldn't comprehend. Like, I would listen to the words, but I couldn't necessarily separate one word from another because it all just sounded so jumbled up to me. I just couldn't get it. So I stopped doing that, and then I started listening to more music and reading the lyrics as I was listening to the song. And no, I didn't know what every single word meant, but I would at least be able to recognize the word when I would hear it in a song without listening to the lyric. But like, I would be able to recognize what they said, which was really good. Even though I may not have known exactly what that word meant, I could always look it up later and find out. So that's what I would do. I'd also try to read like articles online, anything that really interests me. I would try to read articles online in Spanish to really understand, to really focus on my reading comprehension as well. And then also I would try to find like podcasts that were in Spanish, or I would also watch makeup tutorials in Spanish. Guys, I cannot stress how helpful this was, because it was something that I took interest in and that I could pay attention to, and it was short. You know, makeup tutorials are only like 4 to 10 minutes long or whatever. So it was something that was short and reasonable, and it was something that I actually took interest in. So it helped me a ton to watch makeup videos in Spanish. So I would just like binge watch them and binge watch them. Before you knew it, I had like the vocabulary for makeup videos just by watching them on YouTube from other YouTubers who are from Cuba, the Dominican Republic, or Spain, or Venezuela, you know, whatever. I gained like a ton of vocabulary just from watching. So those are some of the things that I did to actually learn the language. Now, came sophomore year in college, I apologize for this video being so long, but came sophomore year in college, well, I guess the end of my freshman year, or sometime in my freshman year of college, I decided that I really wanted to study abroad. So I did that. My sophomore year of college, or sophomore year? Sophomore year? No, junior year. I'm getting my years all mixed up. So my junior year of college, I studied abroad for a semester. I studied abroad from the end of August to the beginning of December. So I was there in the Dominican Republic for 3 months. That, I would say, was the best thing for me, honestly. That's how my Spanish really improved. When I went to the Dominican Republic, or I should say before I went, I could still have a conversation. I still understood, you know, a lot of Spanish for the most part. You know, I listened to a lot of music. You know, I did everything that I was supposed to do. But going there really set it in stone, because I was there every single day for 3 months, constantly surrounded by the language and culture. You know, the host family that I stayed with, they didn't know any English. So if I wanted to do something or ask something, if I wanted something in general, I had to speak Spanish. I had to use what I know, or use what I knew, and learn what I didn't know. And that is what helped my Spanish just, you know, improve tremendously. The amount of Spanish that I learned while I was there is insane. I also had all of my classes, they were taught in Spanish, and they weren't grammar classes. They were actual classes about subjects that we regularly have, that regular just students have on a daily basis, like history classes or culture classes, you know, whatever. But they were all conducted in Spanish from professors, Dominican professors that didn't speak any English. So any question that I had about, you know, something that they went over in class, or a question about a test, or an understanding of just something, I had to be able to communicate in Spanish. So that helped me as well. Making friends while I was in the Dominican Republic. Of course, there are people there who spoke English, like, of course, but for the vast majority, I had to speak Spanish. If I wanted to get to know people, if I wanted to make friends, I had to speak Spanish. You know, going out to restaurants and ordering stuff and just getting what I wanted, just getting around day to day, I had to speak Spanish. So it really, really, really helped me tremendously being there, because I did not need to fall back on English as soon as I didn't know something. I had to figure it out and figure out what it was that I wanted and figure out how to say it so I could get what it was that I wanted. I didn't just go back to English and be like, well, you know, whatever, this is what I want instead, because Spanish is just too hard. I can't think right now. No, I had to use exactly what I knew and learn what I didn't know. So I would say that studying abroad was definitely what really set in stone my Spanish. There are still things, a ton of things that I don't know. Like, there are things in English that I don't know, guys, but I'm still fluent. So I can still have conversations with people. When I came back from the Dominican Republic, my understanding, guys, of just watching telenovelas is like, when I first started watching telenovelas or anything in Spanish, I would have to concentrate and like literally sit in front of the TV or whatever I was watching it on and literally do that and nothing else, and just literally concentrate on what they were saying. Now I can watch telenovelas while I'm doing dishes or like cooking or like doing whatever. I can just passively listen, which is a sign of drastic improvement. So, and even now, same goes with native speakers. You know, when I'm speaking with some of my friends, I can just kind of passively listen and answer, or, you know, do whatever, and not worry about not understanding what's going on, because now I'm at a level where passively listening is easy for me. I just do it. It's just automatic. And before, when I was talking to a native speaker, I would just have to sit and just have a quiet space and just listen to what was going on around me so I could figure it out, what it was that they were asking me or what it was that I was saying. But basically, all I did to learn Spanish was turn my world into Spanish. And I mean, literally. You know, everything I did in English, I started to do in Spanish. I watched TV in English, so I watched TV in Spanish. I listened to music in English, I listened to music in Spanish. I read in English, I read in Spanish. You know, so I did everything that I did in English in Spanish, and I actually literally studied abroad. So that is really the key to learning a language. It's literally turning your life into that language. If you're learning French, turn your world into French somehow. You know, we live in a world where we have access to so many things. You can easily find shows or movies in French on Netflix or Hulu or what have you. So, you know, we have a ton of options to be able to learn a language. So definitely take the opportunities around you and just, I guess, learn as much as you can. You know, we have so many things that we could use to actually get to know another culture at the tips of our fingers, like literally. So don't be afraid to just jump in and dive in and learn a language. And guys, it's okay to make mistakes. It's the only way that you're going to learn. I used to be so afraid to make mistakes, but make them, because when I assure you that it's the only way to learn, I'm being 100% real with you. Don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You'll learn from them and you'll get better and you'll improve. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and this gave you a little bit of insight of how I learned Spanish. I will, of course, do other parts to this video because there's a lot that I said and it's a lot to take in. So, of course, I will do more parts to this video. So if you guys like these type of videos, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next one.